Hey all, welcome to the homestead. If the camera seems a little off kilter, it's because my tripod stand, it doesn't want to lock in level. It either wants to lock tilted this way or tilted that way, so I figured this looked better to me, if you can even notice it. Anyway, so I'm over here again, and as you can see, truck's still stuck over there. You saw that in another short video I just made. I actually made this part just after making that video. So I don't know when you're seeing it, but if you haven't seen that and why the truck's stuck over there, go check it out. And that's why I have more work to do over here. So I'm getting ready to set up this first pig paddock. Got the fence stretched the other day. Got this all cleared out. So now I'm ready to enclose this first. We're gonna call it a square, rectangle. That's probably better. Quadrilateral, because I'm not sure that it's going to be parallel and even completely. We're just going to close in over here from pretty much that clump of trees there. Let's get this pointed. That clump of trees there. We're going to come over to that corner H brace there. And then obviously from that corner H brace there over to pretty much where that tree is right there. I'm going to put a couple of gates on it. Borrowed some gates from other areas where I don't need those gates anymore, because we want to be able to get them out going this way, and we want to get them into the next pig paddock going that way. So I'm going to pick off of the corner brace there to mount the gates to, one coming this way, one going that way. I'm not going to put another corner brace in because I don't think it's really going to be necessary. I think a T-post well anchored in should be sufficient for the pigs. Now when I get goats or whatever, I can reevaluate that later, because I'm not going to be putting up stretched fencing. I'm going to be using cattle panels to enclose, so if I need to change that out for a sunken post later on, it's not going to be a big deal. I'm just kind of going again with what I have on hand, and I have the T-posts. They're shorter T-posts than I would like ideally for the cattle panels, but again, once I get the pigs over here, I can reclaim material that's being used over there, and we can redo this part, at least the T-posts and the cattle panel part, later with larger T-posts, and maybe we do something more permanent than the cattle panels. The cattle panels kind of get rotated around. They're versatile that way, which is great. So first I have more work for myself. So this big clump of root is in the way. I was able to pull that littler part out with my lawnmower because we'd already burned a lot of it. You saw that earlier, either in, not in this video, but in the predecessor of this video. Tried to pull out this part, wasn't gonna move because that trunk and that trunk there, it's all one root system. I've knocked off as much dirt as I can, and I've pretty much exposed this little bridge here between them, and I know this is going to dull up my chainsaw blade, and I'm aware of that, and I'm just going to go with it because I've got a sharpener and I've got other chains that I can put on there if I need to. But I'm at the, I don't want to say the end, but I'm at the opposite end of needing my chainsaw for a little bit. So if I dull it up and don't get around to sharpening it, doing this, I'm good with that. The idea is I'm going to try and cut this root ball in half like that, and hopefully each section individually will be light enough for the lawnmower to pull at least enough out of the way so that I can do this. If not, if I'm stuck with these here, I can still make a lot of progress. I can still mount my gates here, and I can still get all my T-posts in, at least on that side, and the gate, so I can at least get that side done. And I can get a lot of it on this side done as well. So again, this goes back to the predecessor video where we're talking about getting the truck stuck. Try shortcuts, especially shortcuts where you should know better. A lot of times will cause more work for you, and that's where I'm at. I'm causing more work. Impatience, shortcuts that you know better on, equals more work almost every time. You get lucky enough and you get cocky and you make mistakes. So, gonna get at it. That's safe. I think this one's just a little too hefty. Maybe I will knock some more dirt off of it and move it okay. Part of the problem with that other one, I already covered it up. The bleeding edge, the top of that trunk was actually digging into the ground and stopping it from moving, and that could be a little bit of what's happening here. You can see that there. But I think because once it toppled over, it just stopped on me. So I think it's out of the way enough for me to work. So I may just ignore it for now, but I may try to knock some more of the dirt off later and pull it more out of the way as well. But at least it's out of the way for me to do all this that I want to do. Don't know if I'll get it all done today. Between the time I spoke to you last and the time you actually saw me doing stuff, you probably noticed I have a different hoodie on because I got called to potentially have to go to work, so I had to stop, go take care of that. I'm just now getting back out. It's been a couple hours, so we'll see what I get done with the daylight that I got and with the space that I got. Well, maybe it's going to be more of a square than I thought. Got 42 from here. From here to there is 42. From here to there is 42. So almost identical. The problem is, and that'd be perfect if I had two 10-foot gates, because the 10 feet, bring it down to 32, and each cattle panel is 16, so that's times 2, so 2 cattle panels and a gate, 2 cattle panels and a gate. but I have a 10-footer and an 8-footer, so it's not going to be perfect. So I'm going to have to use half a cattle panel or something on one side. So I just got to decide which side I'm going to put the 10-foot gate on. There are worse problems. Alright, I'm an idiot for many reasons. In this case, I have an 8-foot gate and a 6-foot gate, not a 10 and an 8. It is what it is. So it's not going to be as perfect as I hope, but we'll still make do. All right, so all right, don't know how well you can see it. The panel's kind of thin against the background here, but I've got a slight slope right here, kind of just before the tree the tree line here. So what I'm going to do, take my angle grinder and I'm gonna notch out basically a grid at a time up to where I think it'll run pretty flush so that it goes into this embankment and keeps the rest of this moderately level. Now I don't know how much of a slope goes from here, so it may not stay perfectly level anyway. But this is noticeable. That's not as much. So I'm gonna try it. I think that's gonna work out pretty darn good. Yeah. Right now, I'm just gonna put one clip on the top of each T-post that it's leaning up against until I get the other ones up, and then I'll come back and do them all together. I don't know if I'm gonna use clips all the way down though. We'll see. Got the other cow panel and realized I made a slight measuring mistake. I put these at 8-foot intervals, approximate. What I didn't account for is that because I do want a T-post at each seam, but I want that seam to overlap a little bit, and I didn't account for that overlap. So I need to move that last T-post, that one there, this way a little bit. The one right by the gate, that's fine because that's the shorter one and that's going to be cut. The paddle is going to be cut especially for that anyway. But that last T-post has got to come this way a little bit. So I'll get this overlapped, find out where I want to sink that. gonna move over to the other side. I've got a section that'll fit in there. It's about 6 feet. Just don't want to walk back over there right this second. So I think I'm gonna work on getting the T-post laid out on the other side, get that gate up, and see where that puts me with the daylight. Gotta shovel some of this pile out the way first, I think. Just realized, I also didn't just realize it, I knew it, I just thought of it again. Need to fill in this area as well. May use leftover welded wire for that, depending on how the cuts of the cattle panel go. So we got that cleared out pretty good. Let's get the gate on over here. We're gonna go with the 10-footer on this one. We'll put it on, and then we'll measure and we'll determine the spacing. Again, probably do 8 foot, give or take. This side, again, is about 42. Did I just say 10-footer again? The 8-footer. This was a 6-footer. Get the 8-footer, put that on, measure it again, go 8 feet from the fence towards the gate, and then whatever gap between the fence and the gate. Gonna do the same thing right here. See, small little embankment. Gonna try and just notch that out a little bit. And again, battery's low, so got this panel on. Saw that I was kind of trying to tack it to the tree there. Got one staple in, not really critical. I'm gonna come back and use some, I can't think of the name of it. Lock wire, that's it. To attach it to the fence there and fill in some gaps. That's also how I'm going to attach the seams together, is with lock wire. So I'll do that tomorrow and I'll finish closing this up. Got a little bit of daylight left, but I want to be able to make sure I get my tools and everything put away. So gonna call it for today. Good progress, even with the delay. Could have had it finished probably, but it's good because I'll be able to finish tomorrow for sure, and maybe even get the pigs moved over and call this project finished for the time being. Pretty exciting. All right, go to the next part of the video now.
Okay, so it's at this point that I realized I don't have a next part to this video. I don't know if I didn't record it or if I didn't transfer it from my phone to a computer or I inadvertently deleted it. It's gone. I don't have it. So needless to say, I finished the paddock, which was all that was really left. Was just putting up a couple more cattle panels, lock wiring them in together, and it was done. And everything that you're going to see next in the next video is actually getting the pigs moved over into that space. So this is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry, we're still playing some catch up with getting these videos edited and uploaded. But I'm glad that you're all here. We really appreciate you all following our journey here, and we'd love for you to comment and engage. And if there's things that you see in these videos that you feel like you want to give us some feedback on and offer some commentary, hit those comments down there. We'd love to hear some feedback, positive. Don't really want to hear negative feedback, but constructive criticism is always welcome. And if you have any questions or want to know more about what we're doing, you can visit our Facebook page and just drop us a line. Okay? So with that, God be with you all in all that you do. Remember, keep the faith, keep up the fight. God bless.